Think about the last time you boarded a commercial airplane. You crammed into a seat, plugged in your headphones, and maybe grumbled about the Wi-Fi. Within a few hours, you crossed entire time zones. We take it completely for granted. Now, wind the clock back roughly 100 years. If you wanted to cross a continent in 1927, you weren't sitting in a climate-controlled cabin watching movies. You were sharing a drafty, loud wooden box with mailbags, wearing a leather helmet, praying the engine didn't sputter out over a mountain. How did we go from open cockpit mailplanes to flying luxury hotels crossing the globe in hours? Let's trace the wild, century-long evolution of the passenger plane. It all started with the workhorses. In the late 1920s, planes like the Boeing Model 40 existed primarily to fly mail for the government, squeezing a couple of brave passengers right behind the pilot's open cockpit. They had a max range of barely 800 kilometers before needing a pit stop, but humans wanted comfort and luxury. By the late 1930s, the golden age of aviation belonged not to land runways, but to massive flying boats like the Boeing 314 Clipper. Run by Pan Am, these ocean liners of the sky featured dining tables, lounge areas, and actual sleeping berths. They could span 5,600 kilometers across the Atlantic, letting the ultra-wealthy glide across oceans while sipping cocktails. Then came the plane that literally built the modern airline industry, the Douglas DC-3 in 1935. It was tough, reliable, and, crucially, it was the first plane that could make money flying passengers alone, without relying on government mail subsidies. It shrank the world to a 2,400-kilometer reach and set the template for modern commercial flight. As air travel grew, passengers wanted to fly higher, above the turbulent weather. The Lockheed Constellation introduced pressurized cabins in the 1940s, letting travelers soar smoothly at higher altitudes across 6,400 kilometers with its iconic triple-tail silhouette. But the real seismic shift happened in 1949 with the British de Havilland Comet. It was the world's first commercial jetliner. Suddenly, propellers were obsolete, and speeds doubled. Early engineering struggles taught the industry brutal lessons about metal fatigue, paving the way for the ultimate icon of the jet age, the Boeing 707 in 1958. The 707 didn't just connect continents, it launched mass tourism. With a 9,200-kilometer reach, flying went from an exclusive millionaires club to an everyday middle-class reality. By the late 20th century, aviation split into two wild extremes. On one end, you had the breathtaking Concorde, flying at Mach 2, crossing the Atlantic in under 3.5 hours. On the other end, you had the absolute king of capacity, the Boeing 747. The original jumbo jet doubled passenger sizes with its famous upper deck hump, turning international travel into a mass-market movement. Today, those gas-guzzling four-engine giants have evolved into hyper-efficient marvels. Twin-engine long-haul champions like the Boeing 777 crossed oceans safely and efficiently, setting the stage for today's ultimate state-of-the-art flyer, the Airbus A350 OXWB. Built out of advanced carbon-composite materials and powered exclusively by twin Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engines, the A350 can quietly push past 15,000 kilometers nonstop, letting you fly directly from London to Australia in a single hop. From an open-air mail hopper carrying two shivering passengers to a carbon-composite titanium giant connecting the opposite sides of the planet in a single flight, aviation completely redefined human geography in less than a century. Which era of flight would you want to experience first? Drop your pick in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next flight path.